The call came just after dusk, when the snow was starting to thicken and the world had gone eerily still. A neighbor's voice, tight, hesitant. "Your son's outside. He's been there for hours." For a moment, I didn't understand. My son was supposed to be spending Christmas with his mother. Her husband, him, was there too. The man who moved into my house after she moved out of my heart. I remember standing by the window, phone pressed to my ear, watching flakes dissolve against the glass. The silence between each heartbeat felt like a slow knife. I didn't ask questions, didn't shout, didn't curse, just grabbed my coat and keys. The drive was long and cold, the road vanishing under waves of snow. My mind filled the silence with flashes of his face, his laugh, his small hands building snowmen last winter. And then, nothing. No sound, just white, and the faint hum of something breaking inside me. When I reached her street, I saw him, my son, curled up on the porch, shivering. No lights on inside, no one opening the door. He looked up when I pulled in, didn't cry, didn't say a word, just looked at me, and I knew. Something in me changed that night. She came to pick him up 2 days later. Her eyes were red, but not from guilt, from fear. He was being loud, she said quietly, as if that explained anything. Tom said, I raised a hand, don't. Her words hung between us like frozen breath. She looked smaller than I remembered, more hollow. It wasn't about the noise, it was about control, about breaking something innocent just to remind yourself you could. That was the kind of man she'd married. That was the kind of mother she'd become. I let her take him, because I needed her to believe I'd accepted it, that I'd moved on, but I hadn't. At night, I sat in the dark and replayed her words, her tone, her silences. Tom said, I started wondering what else Tom said, what else she obeyed, and what my son wasn't saying. I began watching, quietly, small things first, school pickups, weekends, how my son flinched when Tom spoke, how she avoided eye contact when I dropped him off. Then I started digging, phone records, emails, a custody document she didn't know I'd already seen. Her lawyer's letters had a tone, urgent, defensive, like they were hiding something more than neglect. Then came the message, an unmarked number, a photo of my son crying in the snow that night, time-stamped, sent days later, a warning, or a confession. I traced the number to her office line. She'd sent it, not him, her. And suddenly it made sense. Tom hadn't locked my son outside. She had. And she'd used his name as a shield. I waited for Christmas Eve, 1 year later. She invited me for dinner for our son's sake. Tom greeted me with forced civility, the kind you offer to a man you secretly fear. My son ran to me, hugged my leg. His warmth was the only real thing in that house. We sat down. I placed a small envelope on the table. She froze when she saw it. What's that? I didn't answer, just slid it across. Inside was a copy of the police statement, anonymous tip, photo attached, investigation reopened. Her handwriting was on the back of the printed photo. One word, sorry. Tom looked at her. She broke. No, I didn't mean. He stood, realization creeping through his jaw like a crack in glass. I didn't move, didn't blink. Enjoy your dinner, I said, rising. You both deserve each other. And for once, the silence was hers to keep. I didn't destroy her. I just let the truth do it for me. The statement, the photo, her own words, it all found its way to child services. Quietly, legally, irrefutably. 2 months later, custody was mine. No arguments, no tears, just signatures on paper and her shaking hands. She called me once afterward. I let it ring, then deleted her number. Because revenge doesn't always scream. Sometimes it breathes, slowly. Sometimes it walks away with everything you took for granted. Snow fell again tonight. Same street, same season. My son's laughter echoed through the house, louder than before, freer. He doesn't talk about that night. I don't ask. We both know silence has its own language. Sometimes I still think about her, how she looked when I left that table, her face caught between denial and recognition. The kind of look that stays frozen long after tears dry. People think revenge is loud, that it burns, but it doesn't. It freezes. It calcifies in the places where love used to live. And when the last piece of it melts away, you don't feel warmth. You feel nothing at all.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.